Welcome to the One Thing podcast. We are so glad that you are tuning in. I hope and pray that you are finding value in the content that we're putting out. We've had some great episodes lately, and we are super excited about this episode where for the very first time, this has never, ever happened before. This is a really big deal to me to have one of my favorite people in the entire world on the set with me today for this podcast, and we are thrilled about this. There is no person in this world I love spending time with any more than this person right here. And you may guess it, it's Valentine's Day, and today I need y'all to help me welcome Becky to the set with me today. And we are thrilled that you're here. You're my favorite guest that I've ever had on the podcast, and it is Valentine's week. And me and you had a little bit of an early Valentine's thing yesterday.
Yep.
Took you to your favorite restaurant.
I think it's your favorite restaurant, actually.
Well, so if it's mine, it's got to be yours. Where we go?
Okay. We're at Hall's.
Hall's Steakhouse in Columbia, South Carolina. And tell them what you ordered.
Why?
Yeah, because you had a good order. Tell them what you get.
Last night I got she crab soup.
Oh, yeah.
And
which Christians are not allowed to have the sherry on the she crab soup.
Shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
And a steak too.
Yeah, the filet. You're a filet.
And I got a caramel cake to take home.
Did you eat it yet?
No, I'm saving it.
Something y'all may not know about Becky is she is defensive over dessert. And so like last night, she made them put her dessert in a complete separate bag because she will not put it in the kitchen. She will take it in her room because the kids will eat it.
Yeah.
And Becky will chew your head off if you eat her dessert and her food.
Or drink my cherry Coke.
Like somebody at the church the other day made you some Rice Krispie treats, and you literally hid them underneath your jewelry thing. And you took them on the cruise with us last week.
I did.
And then the night before last, you literally had the last one.
I know. I had to eat them sparingly. They're my favorite.
Yeah, so that's good. So I'm thrilled that you're on the podcast today, and I love you deeply. So another fact that you all may not know about Becky is Becky will sing until she has no breath left. But I learned early that Preacher Brown turned on her one day and said, "Becky, come testify." And she said, no. It literally terrifies her to speak in front of people. All the time we get emails and calls wanting her to come speak at ladies' conferences and things like that. And the answer is always a lovingly, respectfully no.
I don't do that. I can sing for you.
Yeah, she will sing, but she's just uncomfortable. And I actually pray for you that God will help you with that because I think you do have a lot to say. But we're in a safe environment, and we thought we would talk about marriage today, and we've got our teams in here, and we're going to have a great day. So I wanted to welcome you. And marriage, we're talking today about a lot of stuff about marriage, but marriage is not a feeling to be maintained. It's a vow to be honored. We'll talk about that. Talk about how the vows today seem to be weakened. Words that you and I learned early on through counseling is in premarital counseling, like we don't even use the D word, like divorce. We don't threaten. We don't use that word. Just some good precautions there. But marriage is a beautiful thing. And I'm not afraid to say this with you in the room or without you in the room, that you, outside of my salvation, it's getting me. Like, you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I love you, and I'm grateful for you. You have gave me 3 the most beautiful kids in the world. And one, I'm sorry, one of them's in heaven waiting on us. And I love you, and I'm thankful for you. And I know you're doing your best not to cry too. And I'm sorry that I'm trying to make you, I just love you. And I thank God for the life that he's given us. And Genesis 2:24 says this, that therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And I remember vividly being upstairs, and the day we got married, November 5th, and I remember y'all played that spooky music, whatever. It just kept building and building and building. And when it got to the crescendo of the moment, those 2 doors slammed wide open, and the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen walked down the aisle. And you always made fun of me because on the marriage video that we did, like I lost it, And
I was trying to keep my makeup intact, so I was like
Yeah.
Get it together.
It takes her a long
Like, I'm
time to get her
smiling.
makeup. And so, um, a great day. And, you know, we have been called Ken and Barbie before.
We have,
We
yeah.
have. And I'm cool with that. I have a beautiful wife, you know,
Thanks.
and I love you.
Guess if that's the worst thing you've been called, it's
even
not
with,
bad.
even with that, that doesn't mean everything's been perfect.
No.
Right. And I think that's something we want to kind of attack today too, is I think within the church world, within marriage, it's like there's this picture that's trying to be painted like that everything's always perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The wife is always submissive. The husband is always loving. And I think we got to kind of break that mirror and just be like, that's not reality. There has been struggles, there have been difficulties, and the grace of God has seen us through all of that. And I think even going through that causes you to love each other even more.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do that. I think the team's got some fun stuff that we're going to kind of do to kind of break the mood and get things going.
All right. Number 1, date night at home or date night out?
Out.
That ends at home.
Oh,
Wow, wow.
That was one of your questions.
oh, yeah.
All right. Number 2. All right. Romantic dinner or movie night on the couch?
I like dinner.
Dinner.
I think dinner.
Yeah, we.
Becky, this is
You don't make it through the every
Becky,
time we have it.
you're always mad because we don't watch TV on the couch.
Right.
Like our bedroom's big, so we watch TV in our bedroom.
But you always fall asleep.
It's like my mom and dad always watch TV in the living room. We all spend time together. We don't ever spend time as a family in the living room.
Pastor CT, does Becky prefer flowers or a handwritten note?
She loves flowers. She likes flowers, but she gets them, and I could tell that she would way rather have a handwritten note from me.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because Becky is also the thriftiest, tightest money spending.
Frugal
Frugal is a good word. And she's like, it's just a waste of money. You're just wasting money. They're going to die.
They die. Away. Yes.
But notes live
and they're
forever.
Expensive.
Yeah.
So you could just give me the money you're going to pay for the flowers with. That's always an option.
But the nails that you put on your fingers, those are not going to last forever.
But you like for me to have them done, so I do it.
What color do I like?
You like red, but they're pink.
What kind of red?
Corvette red? No. Ferrari red.
Ferrari red. Get it, girl.
I knew it was a car.
Yeah.
Close enough.
All right. Texting or calling?
At what time? Like,
generally speaking,
the day, or
do you prefer to communicate via text or via phone call?
I probably call you a million times, but I usually text. Like, I don't like the phone, so I don't want to talk on the phone a lot. Yeah. It makes my ear hot. I just don't like it.
Makes my ear hot.
Have you
ever heard anybody say that?
Who wants
makes
to do
my
that?
ear hot problems right
so
there.
Just type it. Say what you got to say.
I'm a mixture. It depends in the moment. I
guess it does depend on the moment.
All right.
Like if you're away or if you're home is what I'm saying. Like you go out of town a lot.
One thing about Becky on the phone is, Becky's got a lot of her mom in her, and Becky's super personable with people, and like we'll be riding down the road and somebody call her, hello. I mean, she's just like this super personable person, and when I call, it's like, yeah. What do you want? What's up?
I think
like, where's that girl at?
Yeah.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Morning person, night owl, which has been a conflict.
Yeah.
Because like I wake up 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock at the latest. My eyes are open. I'm ready to conquer the day.
And everyone else should be too, apparently.
Yes.
That's what you think.
I wake up. I'm ready.
Everyone right now.
I'm ready to go. Like we were at Disney World last week, and I'm like, we have breakfast reservations. We got to go. And like Becky, no matter if she starts at 5 a.m. or 10 a.m., it is a 2-hour-long process.
I took my makeup with me and did it on the table.
Yeah. Well, so
that's good.
Yeah. And like, I love the morning, which is complicated because like I like to think. I think clearer in the mornings. I understand. I'm ready to go. But like I go full blast all day long. And I also love to be in bed and almost asleep by 9 o'clock at night. Like I want to be in bed. Well, guess what? Little energetic lady over here is slow in the mornings. By noon, she's already at TJ Maxx. She's already picked out a little lunch where she's going to get her tomatoes and at her little frou-frou Manuel's downtown North
That's a good
Augusta.
restaurant.
Yeah. And what kind of cake do you eat there?
Amaretto cake.
Oh, girl, she gets it all
I
the
think
time.
is what it's called. Or
And
almond cake.
and so we're good. I'm busy all day long, and then I want to get in bed. And of course, in the last couple of years, now I have you
sleep
complained
app,
you
yeah.
complained about the snoring, so fix
I
that.
appreciate it.
And now I got the little face mask, you know.
But I don't want to sit in bed with you and watch a movie with your face mask on while you're watching the movie.
But if
because you know you're gonna fall asleep.
if I don't
watching the
fall
movie.
if I fall asleep without it, then I snore and you get mad at me.
Yeah.
So I put the face mask on.
So it's either
And you're like got your phone, you got your little business, your little Foreverly Chic
yeah.
Thing, and you're answering emails, you're doing product, you're doing all this stuff, and you want to ask me a million questions at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I'll be honest, Becky, there are only a few things I want to talk about at that point of the evening, right?
Yeah, we know.
Like a chicken wow wow, right? Yeah, and so, yeah, and so,
like, where's that?
I want to go to sleep, but she knows like when the face mask goes on, like it's over, right? At this point, I don't even really know what we're talking about. Well, night owl.
You got either a freight train coming through your room, or you get Darth Vader, whichever one you want.
Freight train or Darth Vader. Which one do you love more?
I guess Darth Vader.
Yeah, there is no version of the freight train that you love.
No, you're right.
So, Darth Vader it is.
I'll take it.
And plus, I'm going to live longer now.
Yeah.
Like, and that helps me even wait. Like, that's part of me waking up early in the morning and being energized. You should try it one night. You should use it one night. Work. Maybe you'll wake up easier.
Probably not.
Yeah. Next.
Quiet house or a loud, busy house? What do you prefer?
Loud.
Loud, busy house. The more the merrier. She always gets mad at me because I'm like, come on, come all. Let's all come to the house. Let's eat and be merry. And
I love for people to come over, but I don't love it when they're all over and all of a sudden they're like, "Where's CT? Oh, he's in bed. He went to sleep because we're done now."
If it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed.
So
you
here
can be there
to like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm like, "All right, peace out. It's great." All right.
I will go to bed with people there or not.
This is true.
All right. Do we have a strict bedtime for the kids, or is it 10 more minutes? 10 more minutes.
During school time.
10 more minutes though.
Yeah, I mean I won't say it's completely strict, but
9:30. They're all supposed to be in bed 9:30.
9:30.
Which Tucker, I mean, he's older. I don't care what time he goes to bed.
Yeah, I do.
I know, but it's really he's not going to.
Everybody needs 8 hours of sleep. Look in this camera. If you are not getting 8 hours of sleep, your body is malnourished and not treated properly. You need sleep.
When you're 15?
Right? Yes. Your body. Read it. Google it. Chat
I believe you. I believe you. Okay? Can.
You need sleep. Next.
Sweet dessert or salty snack?
Sweet dessert.
Sweet dessert. Let's talk about that. I love dessert.
You do.
Okay. So I would what would you say is my favorite dessert?
Cherry pie.
Girl.
Or cherry cheesecake.
Girl.
I got you.
I love cherry pie.
I know you.
What do I like with my cherry pie?
Ice cream.
Yeah. Which creates other complications because I might
be
lactose intolerant.
I'm pretty sure you're lactose intolerant.
Okay. So y'all pray for us on that area.
Pray for him.
So cherry pie, cherry cheesecake. I love cherries. I also love. I'm gonna tell you this.
I know what you're gonna say.
Tell me, repeat it, baby. Tell me what I was gonna say.
Brownies with peanut butter on it.
I do love that, but I ain't know what I was gonna say.
Oh, what?
Let's take me to vacation after a rise. And where is my favorite place to eat? And what is my favorite dessert to eat there? I feel tears about to come out my eyes talking about this.
Oh, key lime pie.
Where at? Say
Old Florida Fish House.
Old Florida Fish House.
That is I like it.
30A.
That's my favorite.
Highly.
We literally ate there 4 times.
Yes. We will eat.
The last time we went in a
oysters and the grouper fish house special. And our kids are running all over the place. Me and you and Jared Jennifer's over there. And look here. If you ever go to 30A, it's between Destin and Panama City. Don't stay in Destin. It's too crowded. Panama's too crowded and crazy. But in between that is the most heavenly place in the world. You got Rosemary Beach. You got Seagrove. You got all them places. We stay at Water Sound.
Last time we did.
Water Sound, one of those
Watercolor. I don't know.
I think Water Sound is where we stay. The Water Sound community is where we used to stay at. You got the big chill right there. And we get on a golf cart. We don't get back in our car. You can ride the golf cart to all these different restaurants. And they have the thickest. I mean, graham cracker crust is like that thick. And then the key lime part on top is like that thick.
It is good.
It is amazing. I feel heaven in my soul right now.
Okay.
I feel heaven in my soul.
All right. Speaking of vacation, planned vacation or spontaneous trip?
Planned. I mean,
So-
I don't know. I like both, but I prefer planned. Veer from the plan if you want, but I want to plan.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And who is the planner?
You are.
Yes, I'm the planner. So we do. Yeah, I handle all that. I plan. That's one of the things that years ago she said for me to be a good husband, she would like for me to plan things better. So I planned all the vacations and Disney and yeah. Next.
All right. As much as you guys are gone right now in this stage of life, do you prefer big family trip or simple weekend at the house?
Oh, never a weekend at the house.
That's hard for me. I think
You don't want a weekend at the house.
Yeah, I like weekends at the house. You don't like weekends at the house. You can't sit still.
Yeah.
Very
I
long.
would have thought you would have not liked weekends at the house.
I mean, I like a trip too.
Yeah.
All right. Do we sing in the car or are we a quiet driver?
What are you, CT?
I am the
Master
quietest. I am the quietest driver and the quietest passenger.
Everybody who's ever
Okay.
ridden with you has had to get over how offended they feel. After
I
they go on a trip
try
with you.
to like preface, like let them know before they go. He
Yeah.
still
My
likes you,
world-
but he's not going to speak to you.
My world is so crazy and my phone rings so constantly that when I get in the truck, it's like my time
Just scrolling through TikTok or Facebook.
to just scroll through and I just want silence. It is also the time that I redeem to return phone calls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there have been hours in the car. And I think sometimes I also feel like I pass away time instead of just like I'm so impatient knowing I have a 4-hour drive in front of me.
Yeah.
Is killer to me. So I make phone calls and do those things to make time pass. I don't sleep. Like where you take naps, I can't
You don't
sleep during
in
the
car
day.
ever?
No, not during the day.
Why am I
You're
driving
never
at night?
you're never in the car with me when I've slept because I'm always driving.
Becky,
That's
look
not
at the
true.
camera and call him out.
Not true.
If it's night, you drive sometimes.
Almost all the time.
If
And I
you
have
drive
quit.
during the day, you're like,
No, I
you're
gotta
going to
say,
have to
I
drive.
go to
I
sleep.
can't do it. It's 2:00 and I'm just falling asleep.
I can't drive that long in the daytime. It makes me sleepy.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for the effectiveness of marriage counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one more question
that
for
one.
now. All right. Do we like to rewatch shows that we enjoy or new shows only?
I
New shows
only watch a
only.
movie once. It's not going to change. If you have seen The Patriot, which my brother-in-law is in The Patriot.
That's true.
Yeah. If you watch it, it's the same. It was the same when I watched it years ago. If I watched it again today, I already know. So why would I rewatch it?
If it's my favorite movies, I'll rewatch them. But
I will say that your boy has reran The Notebook
Yeah. See.
because I know what
That's my
is
favorite.
possible if we watch The Notebook. Okay. Am I right about it?
It's a good movie. Yeah.
It makes all them butterflies start flying in the room.
Yeah.
And look, and I'm just like, there's a means to the end, baby. I know, yes.
And I know because you
wanna
stay
watch
awake
it
for the
today?
whole one,
You want to watch
the
it
whole
today?
time.
You want to watch it today?
I don't know. We'll see what we got time for.
All right.
Baby.
All right. So that was this or that. Thanks, team. I hope y'all enjoy that. And so we're here to Becky today, and I'm really glad you're here. And we're going to talk about some of this stuff about marriage, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I dug these stats up about marriage that in the U.S., roughly 41 to 45% of first marriages end in divorce. Isn't that crazy?
Wow, that's crazy.
Second marriages fail at an even higher rate. Third marriages, even more. I think that tells us something really important with what's going on in society today, that people don't struggle to fall in love. They struggle to stay committed. The problem isn't marriage. The problem is how lightly vows are treated. And that's kind of how I wanted to kick this off. And so I think, Becky, that you and I are blessed in how we were raised.
Mm-hmm.
We both had strong families and strong moms and dads and strong, marriages to look at. And so I think we are blessed to have good examples of those things.
Definitely.
But I think the vast majority of the world, though, doesn't, and
Right.
so I think when people look at marriages as a whole, like I'm taking my master's class, and last semester was a class on marriage and the family. And one of the chapters of the textbook that I was reading was a stark contrast of what a contract is versus what a covenant is, and how society today treats marriage like a contract instead of that like a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And a contract can be breached, a contract can be broken, a contract, can have contingencies in it. And there's nowhere in the Bible where the Bible relates marriage to being a relationship tied into a contract. But marriage biblically is contrary to a contract. It's a picture of a covenant, right?
Mm-hmm.
A contract says, if you break it, I'm out. Where a covenant says, even when it's hard, I'm staying,
Yeah.
right? Like I tell you all the time, if you leave me, I'm coming with you, right? Like marriage is the only relationship where you promise faithfulness before you know the future, before the pressure, before the hard seasons. This little statement: we didn't fall in love to get married; we got married to stay in love. I found something in you. I saw something in you from the day that I first walked on this property. I know you're gonna think I'm getting sappy, and I do feel, but I love you. Like you're the best thing in my life, and I'm trying to stay composed here. But like the day I first met you, like I knew that's her. Like I remember, I had met Preacher Brown. I didn't know anything about Victory, and we were at Myrtle Beach, my family and I on vacation, and God had just called me to preach 6 months before that. That was 23 years ago last week, and um, I my dad said, "Hey, let's go hear that preacher tomorrow," you know. And so we left Myrtle Beach a day early, and we came here on Saturday night, stayed in the sleep-in hotel of Exit 5, and woke up. And we were in the long building up there then. And your dad and Preacher Brown, when I walked in, they're showing me the college, and your dad's giving me the tour of the place and trying to put hooks in. Man, you ought to come to college here. You ought to come to college here. I remember then he even said, I got 2 daughters. You're about the same age. And I'd never seen you, all that stuff. Your dad always used the daughters trying to get boys to come to college, which I'm not happy about. But all this stuff's going on. And I remember sitting on the second row there. They're singing, "The windows of heaven are open. The blessings are falling tonight." And I remember deeply in my heart, like I'm deeply seeking God. Like, is it God's will for me to come here? Like, to be honest, I hadn't really thought about it a whole lot. And in my heart, like I remember going back and I remember seeing you walk down that aisle to go get up in the choir with your mama. And I remember saying, my Lord, my Lord, you broke the mold when you made that one right there. And I didn't know your name, but I tell it in church sometimes that when I saw you, I threw my hands up and said, "Yes, Jesus, this is the will of God for me." And in my mind, I thought, I'm gonna move to North Augusta. I'm gonna fall in love with her. I'm gonna be married within a year. And sadly, I come to this town, and you wanted nothing to do with me.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I remember finding out that I needed a laptop, and I remember telling my dad to send it to your house, only for one reason, so that I could go to that house and get that laptop and see you.
I always wonder, why did it come here?
Yeah.
Like, this is not the
You were the
door.
reason, baby.
Oh, okay.
You were the reason. And I still remember going on I tell people all the time, I'd send you flowers and you'd send them back. You wanted nothing to do with me. And we went on a whitewater rafting trip, and somehow you were on there, and we had never talked a whole lot before this. And I remember you said you're thirsty, and I found out you love Dr. Pepper, and I went and got you Dr. Pepper. Remember that?
That was Cherry Coke.
No, it was Dr. Pepper.
Was it Dr.
I still
Pepper?
have it. Look here. I still have that Dr. Pepper.
Now?
To this day. Yes.
The Dr. Pepper?
I still have that Dr. Pepper.
Where? Why?
That you half drunk. I still have that Dr. Pepper in my possession to this day.
That's kind of gross.
I would not open it, but I've always saved it because that was like the first thing I ever bought
So you remember the first thing you
I have that Dr. Pepper. When did you know for the first time that you love me?
Oh.
Not trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know exactly when. Well, one time, a bunch of my girlfriends and I were at dinner, and y'all came in late or something.
Monterey's.
Yeah.
The old Monterey's, the old building.
You know what I'm going to say?
No.
Yeah, it was Monterey's. But anyways, the old Monterey's. And we were talking about weddings. I think Josh and Rachel were about to get married. And somebody said something about what we're going to have sung at our wedding. This one, this one, this one. And then you said, I know what I'm going to have sang at my wedding. And they're like, what? They're like, you remember on Full House how Jesse sang to Rebecca Forever? And all the girls all of a sudden were like, they look right at me and they're like, that's the song you want. That's the one. I was like, I know. Nobody knows that song. That's really weird.
And what did I sing to you when we got married?
You did sing it.
I sang
Forever. And you even wrote a verse.
Forever and
okay.
ever, I'll be so
Okay.
happy loving you. If every word I
let's go to
said
the next question,
would
please.
make you laugh,
The next-
I'd talk
Oh my God.
forever.
Lord help me.
Ooh.
That's great.
Oh, that melts her heart right there. Every
Mhm.
single time. Every single time. She could be mad as a devil at me. I mean, horns coming up out of that blonde hair,
Oh
eyes
my
done turned red,
goodness.
and I'm like, if every word I said
I mean, wouldn't you
would
laugh
make you
whenever see somebody do that in the middle of a fight? I'm
So
like,
in that moment when I said I will sing that song, I'm guessing you're saying that all your girlfriends always
they all looked
knew
at me and I was like,
that was your song,
yeah, that was my song.
and that's how you knew.
That's not how I knew, but it's maybe one of the times. So.
Yeah, and I would say that your mom
And
was
my mom
your
really
mom was a
loved
great
it.
asset in my corner.
For sure.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like I remember when I was pursuing you and you were like jello. Like one day you I feel like you liked me after 9 o'clock when nobody else was around, but you wouldn't like show emotion about me in front of anybody in the church, you know? And so like, I would come to the office the next day cause I was kind of working part-time here at the church and helping Preacher Brown. And I would sit in your mom's house like, what do I got to do? And your mom would like coach me. She's like, you should try this. You should, I was like, why is she acting like that? Why is she so shady? I don't think we use the word shady in those days, but like, why is she, and she would help me. And I remember one time, like, I don't know if we were dating or married then, but you kind of said something at me and your mom was like, Rebecca.
We were engaged. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Rebecca, upstairs now.
I was 21 years old. I was like, are you serious? And she said, do I look like I'm serious? I said, okay. So I just went on.
She's
up
like,
the
are you going to spank me?
So I got it there. I was like, she walked in. I said, what are we doing? She's like, you do not need to talk to him. I said, are you going to spank me? And she goes, do I need to spank you? I was like, no, ma'am, you do not need to spank me. Yeah, I'll never forget that one.
Yeah. And so, all those, I remember traveling with your dad one time. He was preaching in Jacksonville, Florida. Rewind just a little bit. And I was hot and heavy on your trail, dead in love with you, knew that you were my wife. And I hadn't really talked about it to anybody because I thought you didn't want anything to do with me. And I remember your dad, who is the worst snorer in the entire world.
But he got a CPAP.
Yeah, he's good now. Great. But I remember sitting in that little tiny hotel room, 2 beds, and I'm laying in another bed. He's like, hey, you need to go to bed now. I'm going to give you 30 minutes because once I go to sleep, you won't be able to go to sleep. And I'm laying there about to fall asleep, and your dad sits straight up. He said, hey, if you want to date my daughter, I'm okay with it. And he went straight back to laid back down, went straight back to bed, like he was giving me permission to chase after you, And from that moment on, it was like full blast. I think I still remember the first time I kissed you. That was a wonderful day in my life.
So,
yeah, and I remember we dated 5 months, and I proposed to you at the church, right?
The day before April Fool's.
The day before April Fool's, just in case you said no, I could say April Fool's.
Right, you said you had it ready on screen just in case.
So y'all check this out. Tell me this ain't the coolest. We actually look for DVD. Hopefully we can find it and show some of this to y'all. But I flew some of her family in from Missouri. You didn't have a clue. Me and Preacher Brown, your mom was involved, and you and your mom and your sister were standing up there singing. He told Preacher Brown at the end and said, Becky, you and your mama, y'all come sing a song. Y'all get up on the stage, and as soon as y'all get ready to start singing the song, the lights go completely dark. I had people like stagehands off, and somebody brought a stool and a vase and set it right in front of you. And when the lights somewhat come back on, your mom and your sister are gone, and you're standing on that stage all alone. And the music.
I kept saying, Mom, this is not the right song.
The music to Rascal Flatts, God Bless the Broken Road.
A country song.
I know. I'm surprised that we got away with that.
He didn't know it's a country song.
He didn't know?
He said, God Bless the Broken Road.
Yeah, God Bless the Broken Road. Sounds like a Christian song. Service was over with, and God Bless the Broken Road, and I come out the back side door from the choir. I set out on a narrow way many years ago. When did you realize what was happening? When did you... I'm gonna cry thinking about that. That was super special.
I think I guess right then I probably knew.
Yeah.
Well, when I turned around, I saw the bass and everything, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is."
And so while I'm singing, I stand over on the side, and her cousin who was like her best friend that I flew in from Missouri, he comes and puts a rose in that vase. Her mom and dad come put roses in that vase. My mom and dad like the approval of all of our family, right? Like they're all come putting roses in that vase. Brother, sister, all, I mean, I'm gonna cry. All these roses in this vase, and here I come, and about that time the song's about over, and I come over there in front of that vase, and I put a longer rose in that vase, got down on my knees, and cried like a baby, and said, "Will you please marry me?" And I'll never forget two Baptist kids who've been taught that it's wrong to touch a woman.
Yeah.
Like, in this moment, we're so caught up that I go to hug her and she tried to lay one on me. Y'all listen to me. Pull up the video.
Kiss.
She tried to lay one on
Becky,
me
will you marry
in front. There's 1,000 people in this church on that night, and I'm like, you cannot kiss me.
Obviously.
You cannot kiss me in the church. We are not married yet. You was aggressive. You was aggressive.
I just figured they all never get married now. What?
No, we ain't married yet.
I was just giving you that big kiss. I was just gonna
Yeah, the little kids. And I kind of like Baptist sideswipe and just hug.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, but I think I did kiss you later though. You can't do it in front of people, right? But so we proposed, and then we had been dating 5 months and knew it was right, and got engaged and got married, and this past November we celebrated 20 years of marriage, and it's been great. So when we got married and we stood before Preacher Brown, we were not signing a contract. We made a covenant. We made vows. And that doesn't mean that everything's always been easy, but we made vows before God and each other. And those vows have had to stand the test of time. There's been, sickness and in health, better and for worse, richer and poorer, right? That we made those vows, and it was not a contract, it was a covenant. And I think it's super important that people in today's society understand the importance of those vows and the covenants that we make. So in the world we live in, with those divorce rates being so high, I think part of it is because people understand from a secular worldview what a contract is versus from a biblical worldview of what a real covenant is. That a covenant is not something that we just easily break because we're not happy.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
That people of our generation, they're focused on their happiness more than they're focused on the vows they made to God. And they literally think, I'm going to get out of this one and I'm going to go find a better one. And so I just think, you agree with me? You think that vows and the covenants, that's a big issue of today's society?
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, like the 80-20 rule where they all think it's going to be better and then it's worse.
Yeah. 80% can be great, and the devil jangle 20% that you don't have.
20.
And how stupid we are to go chase after the 20% at the expense of losing the 80%.
Yeah.
Right?
You always say it's going to be greener on the other side, but you always
Tell
say
them why.
Because there's what is it?
There's a septic tank.
A septic tank right underneath it.
There's a septic tank on the other side of the fence.
Because of that.
There's a green. It's green.
So you know
over
what
there.
you're going to land in a pile of,
It's better to fertilize your own field,
right,
than to keep looking across the fence. And I would say that there's days that you and I both would have to agree that we've had to intentionally fertilize our own field, right? Like it's staying married and staying happy, staying joyful with marriage. I mean, that's hard work, right? Like learning each other's love languages. Like I ain't gonna lie, like figuring women out is hard. You know what I mean?
Ours is just really different. Our love languages are different.
They are.
Yeah, I'm like
one
a PDA person. Like
one love language, PDA. I like when you rub my hair. I like when you rub my back. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm just talking about holding hands and.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I get it. What's your love language?
Acts of service, I think.
Acts of service.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think to be honest, as your husband, like I feel like your love languages vacillate. They change from time to time. I think it's a moving target sometimes. Like I'll try this one and that one doesn't do anything. Then I'll try this one, so you have a couple of them that I try to fire on all cylinders, but I think that's the pursuit. If there's one thing I've heard preachers talk about is what you did to get her is what you have to do to keep her.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a great misconception of, well, we're married, she's got me now.
So now I gotta date
Yeah,
anymore.
like we don't have to date
Yeah.
anymore. And I will tell you, now I've never drunk wine. I don't know anything. Like the only alcohol I've ever had in my life is Baptist alcohol, and that's NyQuil. But you are like a fine bottle of wine. You get better with age, and without getting sappy or anything, like I am more in love with you today than I've ever been. Like I think our marriage today is
I feel like we
stronger.
both are.
Are you in love with me more than you ever have been?
Yes.
Say it, girl.
I
Go ahead. You get me all juicy over here.
Oh, see, that's why.
Yeah.
You say that and go straight to.
Yeah. So it's like I love you more. I appreciate you more. I find like I don't know if you see it, but like I feel like I try to intentionally be the husband you need me to be and want me to be. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect, right? Like I still have lots of flaws. You don't have any flaws, but I have lots of flaws, But for the people out there that think that marriage just works and that it's all centered around your happiness,
Mm-hmm.
If you that y'all probably can't see it on camera, but that plant over there in the corner, like I don't know who put that there. I don't know who bought it.
Mm-hmm.
But we were on the Singing at Sea cruise last week, preaching and lots of singing. And I came in and the leaves were like touching the carpet, like it was dying. And yesterday I went in there and got 3 full cups of water and put it in there. And today, what was drooping and dying is now looks like it's never had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to realize marriage is like that. Like if you don't feed it, if you don't work on it, if you don't prioritize it, it's going to wither.
Right.
And some people say marriage is 50-50. That's not true either. It's 100-100.
Mm-hmm.
Like both sides have to be able to compromise and give and understand. And we grow with each other, and we learn how to talk and what not to say. Like, look, Louie Nice, I know now, I don't call you woman.
No, don't do that.
Don't call you woman. And early in our marriage, I said it one time and I realized, don't ever call her woman, right? And there's also things about me. What is something that makes me go to the pinnacle of anger when you do it to me?
When I'm late?
Well, that does too. What about like when you laugh at me?
Oh, like when you're getting
tell the dear people in this room what happens.
No, we get in an argument. It's just, to me, I'm like, I just start laughing and you get mad about it even more. And I'm like, what are we in 5th grade? Or, it's just
Ooh. I felt it. I felt it rise up in me.
You asked.
I felt it like I know we're role playing right now, but I felt it rise up in me. When you said 5th grade, like, oh, I don't know what that is. But marriage is hard work. And I think being committed to that, not giving yourself a way out and just saying this is for better, for worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that even ties in even more once you have kids. Like once you have kids, you realize, man, this is not just about me.
Right.
This is not just about us. We're an example to them. The actions we make, like we are literally teaching our sons and our daughter now what marriage should look like,
mm-hmm.
And living that example in front of them. And like there are times, where I intentionally love and kiss you in front of them.
Yes, and they hate it.
Yeah. The other day, this might be a little bit rated higher for what we're doing, but
oh no,
we seen these little reels
where
wives were calling their husbands daddy in front of the kids to see their reaction. And
I wish we had their reaction.
If I can find this video, we'll play it for y'all. But
it's funny.
Me and Becky had made this plan, and the first one was around Everly, and we were laying in the bed, and Everly came in there, and you wanted the TV remote. He was like, "Hey, Daddy, would you please give me the TV remote?" And like we got Everly's face on video. She's like,
she literally
like
it just what? Why would you say that?
Yeah,
I was like, what?
And so we did it like to Siler, and Siler has like a little bit of a lisp. He's like, "Dad, I know that sexual."
Don't say that.
He's like, that's sexual, like, and I'm
You
like,
cannot say that.
yeah.
People see this.
Yeah. And so like there's like that. And then we were riding down the road one day with Tucker and she did it. She called me daddy in front of him and Tucker just went, bruh.
Yeah. Bruh. I was like, what?
But I think
please?
to purposefully show our kids, that a loving mom and dad is a good thing. And I think that's a goal of ours. But I'm gonna roll into some of this, attack culture, and I've mainly been talking, but we kind of crafted some questions that we'll throw back and forth at each other, and that's kind of gonna make you talk a little bit more.
Oh, great.
So I'm gonna start, and I need y'all to cheer for Becky when she talks because it scares her to death.
Too much.
But I want you to know this, like in front of all these people, like I think you're doing phenomenal. Like I think
Thanks.
you're doing great, and you hang in there, okay? You might be a professional podcaster one day.
I don't think
Who
so.
knows? Yeah.
Yep.
So let's start easy. Becky, to all the ladies out there that are watching this, and we're talking about marriage or even couples, what's something you've learned about love that Hollywood gets wrong?
I would say I feel like they try to make it look effortless, like you don't have to work at it, and I feel like they think like big gestures are the only gestures that say I love you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When it's really not.
Real love is choosing each other even when life is loud.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really good statement. So I think Hollywood does get it wrong, and I think
feel like always too when they fight, they always like make it like, okay, it's failing, we're done. Like they don't ever resolve it.
Yeah, and on the contrary side of that too, I think even the damage that like pornography does to the world we live in, like the massive amount of people that I have counseled, even teenagers to adults, they get addicted to pornography and then they think that marriage and love and relationship is going to look like that, and it doesn't.
Right.
So therefore they think this wife is not what I need her to be. And I think Hollywood and sin and flesh and the devil portrays and paints this fake version of love that I think is crippling to the society that we live in. And not on top of that, but Hollywood itself, and here we go, let's just preach a little bit, like Hollywood itself is morally deviant and responsible. Like, what is the thing that I can't, like me and you'll be watching a Tuesday night show or something, and what is the thing that makes me nauseous any more than anything in this world when we're watching it? It happens in like all the shows now. It's like they purposely put it in there.
When they're gay?
Yeah. Okay. So it's like you can't watch any show now without Hollywood trying to portray, now like if you study the data of like what percentage of America is in a homosexual relationship,
right?
Like that percentage is small, but Hollywood tries to portray it like it's like everybody's doing it, and you watch Disney,
like it's a cool thing
and
to
it's
do.
feminine boys, it's all this stuff, and I think Hollywood is deviantly and demonically responsible for portraying a fake version of love and what relationship is. The nuclear family as we know it is what God created for everything real that God has. The devil has a fake.
Right.
And I think the woke agenda and the society in Hollywood has done its very best to twist the narrative of everything that's true. And before God instituted the church, God instituted the family. And so what do we find the devil's attacking is the family itself. And so I definitely think and agree with you that Hollywood completely gets it wrong.
Yeah.
When it talks about marriage and family and relationships.
Yep. Well, I guess it's my turn to ask you.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay. What did you misunderstand when we got married, like in the first part of our marriage?
That's very easy for me. You ready for this?
Okay.
I understood quickly in our marriage that what is mine is yours, and what is yours is yours.
Right.
Huh?
I'm glad you got that.
Isn't that good? Yeah. When we first got married, like I worked here at the church and I made $135 a week.
Yep, you did.
And I loved it. Like I would do it all over again. Like I love doing what I do. And you had a good, thriving little business. You were cutting hair and you were like a walking billboard every Sunday and everybody was coming to get your hair done and you were killing it. And I learned the day we got married and had a joint bank account that Becky has way more money
Yeah.
than
Well,
I have, right? And we got married in November, so that
hmm
means time goes on. It may have been right after we got married. I don't. It was
what are you
in the
talking about?
first year of the marriage, and I went and bought that brand new Matthews
Oh,
bow.
my heavens.
How did you find out about that?
Okay. Let me just start right here. Okay. So you knew we have two bank accounts, and one of them was because I was saving to pay my loan off from my school. I'm pretty sure we'd had a long talk about it. Hey, you don't touch that because my dad's going to match whatever it is. I'll get it paid sooner. So we're done with that. Well, I come home, I'm cleaning up, looking around the table and stuff, and I saw a receipt and I thought, $800 for a bow and arrow? Like, what in the world? And I was like, hey, did you get a new bow? He's like, yeah. I said, what did you pay for it with? He goes, bank account. And I thought, what bank account? I about lost my mind.
I would say that was one of our first little arguments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah.
Real good.
But it stifles me to this day, like
I mean, we
how we
talked
hold
about it,
on, how
and
we
you still
hold
did it.
on to that moment. But if we were to calculate how much of my money you've spent,
Listen, I'm just paying it back with interest. That is all I'm
yeah.
doing.
Well, I say I'm fine. So I learned early in our marriage that what is mine is yours, and what is yours is yours. You know, there's a there's a contrast here where we talk about marriage and like just normal marriage of everyday life. But it can become a little bit more complicated with me and you because of ministry. I
hmm
think that ministry has innate pressures that it places on us, and I know that a large part of our audience is ministry people or people that want to be ministry people. And I think that within the pressure that is put on ministry people, there's like this, and maybe you could talk to about this better than me, but there's this stigma where almost like we have to act perfect. Like you have to act like everything's got it together. Kind of like everybody's
Yeah,
Facebook reels. Like we don't post the bad stuff. We only post the good stuff. And it's
that's
like this.
exactly it. Nobody posts any of the bad stuff.
Yeah.
There's bad stuff in everybody's
And,
marriage.
I remember one time I was giving an illustration when I was preaching and I was talking about like a difficulty me and you walked through. It was a funny story. And I remember there was like this guy who's like a really good friend, Brother Dave. He's like, I knew at that moment that you were my pastor and this was my church. He's like, when I could find a pastor that'll just be real. And I think effectiveness in ministry is not achieved by being fake. I
hmm
think it's achieved by being real, in the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think real people are looking for real preachers that'll just
hmm
be real. And so the ministry and pressure, we'll dive into that. Marriage doesn't usually break in one moment. It erodes through exhaustion, through distraction, through silence. Most couples, I wrote this little phrase down, most couples don't wake up wanting out. They wake up tired,
Yeah.
and the pressures of all the time. So I'm going to ask you to kind of talk to the people. Like, what would you say to couples who feel tired or distant? And let's
Um.
agree we've been there.
Yeah.
You know, um,
I feel
what would you
like
say to couples who feel tired or
I
distant?
feel like they're not. I mean, I feel like they need to take more time, spend time together, like maybe like a date night every night, or not. Well,
Every
that'd be
night,
fun every night,
yeah,
but like once a week or something. Even if it's not just with no kids, like have some time where you have a conversation and no phones,
no phones.
no phones. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like those people. I feel like they feel like they're kind of like broken, but they're not. They're just human, and the distance doesn't mean that love is gone. It just usually means that life has been really loud.
Yeah,
So what would you say to marriages you feel they feel like they're giving up or they are giving up?
yeah. To that, I think decisions can't be based on how we feel, especially covenants and super strong decisions like marriage.
hmm
So I think first of all, it's got to start with the fear of the Lord. Is your relationship where you need to be with God? It's really easy to look at your spouse and think she's the problem or he's the problem. And really, we all got to look in the mirror first and make sure our hearts are where they're supposed to be.
hmm
And, the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And so making sure that before we make decisions that we're operating in the fear of the Lord and knowing that decisions like that have long lasting impacts.
hmm
Um, and I would say, second of all, that that hard doesn't mean it's wrong. Just because your marriage is going through a hard season doesn't mean it's a wrong season.
Right.
Nobody said it was going to be easy. Nobody said that women are easy to understand. Nobody said that men are easy to live with, right? Like it's hard work. Um, I think every man grew up thinking that their princess was going to be a Cinderella that was going to love them and want to have sex every single day and everything was going to be wonderful all the time. And I think every girl grew up thinking that every man was going to be a Prince Charming and was going to cook them breakfast, and dinner and provide millions of dollars in a bank
Yeah.
account. And like, it's just not reality,
No.
So it's hard doesn't mean wrong. And then lastly, I would say to that you can't make permanent decisions in temporary seasons. I was talking earlier about a guy that called me yesterday who's a really good guy, and he's in ministry and he's young and he's single, probably 25 years old, and found this girl, fell in love with her, thought he's going to marry her. And last week she sends him a letter and breaks up with him. And he's calling me yesterday, like distraught. And he's like, man, I feel like walking away from everything. I feel like quitting ministry. Like I need a new start. And I'm like, hey, bro, listen, I validate how you feel. Like those emotions are real, but you don't make decisions when you're hurt, when you're wounded, like you're emotional. You can start working with God on a plan, but you don't make a decision, you know. So that's what I would say to that. And so let's talk about what keeps a marriage strong. Strong marriages aren't built on chemistry; they're built on consistency. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I think so.
I think we all think that it's going to start out with chemistry is what's going to but the old Tina Turner song, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" After a while, it's not feelings, it's not emotion, it's consistency to the commitment that you made. Forgiveness beats feelings, commitment beats compatibility, and I don't know if you understand this, and I don't know if the women that are listening to this understand this, but we're dumb, right? Like men are dumb.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
Like all the men can agree in the room and on like men are dumb. And so we need y'all to like make it super simple for us. So would you give insight to me and to the other men around, like what makes a wife feel valued consistently?
I would say where you're like the wife, the mom, the organizer of everything. We still want to feel like, like you're attractive or interesting or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you want to feel like I'm attractive?
No, like I am.
You want us to acknowledge that you're attractive? I think
Maybe.
I do that. I think I do that good.
Pretty good.
Like the other day, we're laying in bed. It was Sunday. We got snowed out. And I lay beside you, and you hadn't. You just been Becky all day, no makeup, and I was like, you are the most beautiful version of Becky.
You did say that.
So I do. I strike that chord.
Okay.
Wouldn't
appreciate you for who she is and what she does.
In the everyday things, I know for me, like one thing you're always telling me is feel like I don't listen.
You don't.
Yeah. So when I hear that, I would think that women like to be felt like they're listened to.
Yeah. You listen when I'm like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
But you will be scrolling sometimes.
Be scrolling. Yeah. We be scrolling.
Okay,
so it's I think from me knowing you, I think you like to feel noticed, not in a bad way, but a good way. And by that, I just mean that you're a part of my world. You're not on the outside of my ministry or the outside of my life. Like you're the centerpiece. I think women like to feel noticed. I've also noticed in pastoring and counseling when a marriage is going defunct and almost headed towards a divorce, like I almost always notice one of the biggest signs of that is that female goes on Facebook, and whether it's inappropriate or like that woman is seeking attention big time, like provocative posts, provocative all, and it's almost like this innate thing in a woman, like if they don't get that from home,
they're looking for somewhere.
They're looking like so. I think there's something in women, and I would say that's the sinful version, right? Like I don't think any of us should go there, right? Because then we usually start attracting the wrong people. I hope somebody's listening to that. Like I think that's very dangerous. Feeling noticed, feeling listened to, and I think in me knowing you that like you've wanted to know that your effort matters. Like, so like the day before we got married,
Yeah.
your mom was like, I need to teach you a few things. Like, what are you going? And she literally taught you how to turn a washing machine on for the very first time.
I could turn it on. I just.
No. Your mom, I was there when your mom taught you how to use a washing machine the day before we got married.
I knew how to turn it on.
So your mom spoiled you rotten. She took care of everything.
Yeah, she did.
And so like that's never been a part of your culture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was a clean freak. Like I'm talking about everything was spotless, everything's picked up, floors are bleached. And so that's how I was raised. And that's what I expect. Like I want with ADD, like I tell you, my anxiety goes through the roof if I come home to a dirty house. And
we know.
Yeah. And I've noticed over the years, like if you do take time to clean up the house, and if I don't say thank you, or if I don't notice it, you're like, well, I'm never doing this again because I spent all day doing this and you don't even realize that I did it, so I think there's would you agree that there's something that you just want to know that your efforts mattered?
I noticed, I tried. So what have you learned about showing value? Like,
I would say everybody's different, right?
Okay.
And I think it's something that every couple has to work on, like what value actually is defined as.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the conversations you and I've had that I even bring up in a joking way, like you talk about how you want me to listen better,
Mm-hmm.
And have just normal conversations. And so I look at you when we're driving down the road or when we get in bed, I'm like, I love having meaningful conversations.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because I know that matters to you. We're not just talking about the kids.
Where'd you get that?
Huh?
What made you think that would be right? That's what I would want.
I don't know.
You didn't see it on ChatGPT or anything?
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
That's where that little thing where I said, like, what is she looking for? Why am I striking out? And ChatGPT was like, based on what I know about Becky, is she would like to have meaningful conversations.
It's like a
therapist. And so I looked at you. I was like, Becky, I love having meaningful conversations. And the first time I said it, he was like, well, great. Like you didn't know it come from ChatGPT the first time. Yeah. And the more I talked, you're like, where'd this come from?
Right, because there's a lot more. And I was like,
either you just went and seen a counselor or something, but it worked. Right.
That's good. She did all right.
And I also learned that presence matters more than promises. Mm-hmm. Like I'm gone so much preaching and stay so busy that there's one thing you've asked for time and time again. It's like when I'm home, be home. Mm-hmm. And I don't say I do that always perfectly, but one thing Joe Arthur always taught me was when you travel a lot, like when you're home, make sure your kids feel like you're home. Mm-hmm. And park your phone and be there for them, be present, it breaks my heart to think about times in my past where I've been so busy that Everly's daddy. And for me to realize after that moment that my daughter just wanted my attention for a few minutes. Right. And I was so busy that I couldn't even respond. So those kind of moments break my heart. Mm-hmm. And I think instead of just being sad and carrying guilt over, we have to fix that and be present for them. In the day-to-day reality, we're getting close to wrapping this up, is what does being a husband, being a wife, doing it right, what's that look like? And again, for you to be practical and spelled out for us men that are dumb, when a husband is doing it right, mm-hmm. What does that look like?
When you listen. Yeah. And you lead with humility, I guess. And I like when you notice my mood.
Yeah. Reading the room, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. And I like how you protect time for us. Yeah. That's really a big thing too. So supports us.
We just went on a 2-week-long 20th anniversary trip that I planned and surprised you.
You did great. With. And you planned all the things that we're doing.
Yeah. Every day was planned.
I know.
Every hotel was planned. All the
restaurants
the boat ride to the Nepali coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were scared to death to get in the water, but you did.
I did.
It was great.
But they say sharks are terrible there.
Yeah. She's scared to death of sharks. So noticing your mood, there's something that I've heard you tell other people that you love about me.
I know another thing.
What?
I like it when you apologize, because sometimes you do it even when you're not wrong. And I love that.
So you love when I lie.
To me.
Yes.
That. Yes.
Yeah. So even when I'm not wrong and I'm just take the blame because.
But you do that with not just me. I've seen you do it with other people.
Yeah. Because as a leader, like I see the big picture.
Yeah. And I guess that does make me mad. That's why I said to me, it's fine to do that. But with other people, I'm like, no, they were not right. Do not say they were right, and you are sorry. You didn't do anything wrong. But I mean, you do you, boo. Whatever.
Oh, what wives really need. So we'll jump into this. What do wives need that most husbands misunderstand? I know what you're gonna say.
How you know?
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Just go.
Okay. Not every touch means more touching.
Yeah, I get it.
Not,
So the marriage couple, Mike and Amy Edwards, I knew you were gonna say that. Mike and they call it non-sexual touch.
Yeah, like you want
that
me to
women
flirt with you and
crave
stuff.
non-sexual
I'm
touch.
scared to flirt with you because if I touch, then it's done.
It's on.
Yeah.
There is an on switch and an off switch. That's all there is.
I haven't found the off one.
Yeah, it's not off. It
Ever.
ain't off ever.
I mean, good, I guess.
So I think men have to understand, like when you're talking about me apologizing even when I'm not wrong, like in a leader's mind, like I'm playing the long game, right? Like I'm okay for you to think you're right. Like I have no pride in that. Like in my mind, I can be smiling at you and think, that's the stupidest decision that you've ever made. But I'm okay with you thinking it's the smartest one because I'm going to win down here. Like I'm playing chess, not checkers, right? I think women in these moments that when there's no pressure attached, you feel safe, you feel loved, you feel close. And I think if there is something that cannot be stated clearly enough is that women and men do not think the same about this stuff.
Right.
Like I have talked to you about it and you've talked to me and I'm like, how can she feel that way? And you're like, how can he feel? Like it's amazing to me how differently God wired us in a lot of those areas. And I think with each marriage, with each couple, it's different. And it is the responsibility. The Bible says, dwell according to knowledge. It is the Bible way for me to study you and to figure out how you tick and to play chess and play the long game and make sure that your needs are met.
Yeah.
Because because the other way, it just becomes completely selfish on both sides.
Yeah.
Where it's all about you. It's all about how you feel. It's all about when you're ready. Like, let's be honest. Sometimes, like, there are things that I do for you that I don't want to do, and there's things you do for me that you don't want. Like, I think we both have to consider each other, right? And I hope you're listening to all this that we're talking about.
Like a back rub. I just want it to be a back rub. My back hurts. I just want you to rub it.
Has there ever been an innocent back rub?
No. From you?
Yeah,
Absolutely
girl.
not.
All right, let's talk about hard seasons. Because I think when a couple gets married, they think it's all just going to be bliss and joy and happiness every day, all day. But you married somebody long enough, like there's going to be good seasons and bad seasons, sad seasons, happy seasons. So what would you say? What has mattered most to you in hard times?
Knowing that like we're both on the same team, and that I know we're not going to quit because we've made that commitment to each other. We're not going to do that, and that we, pray even when it's awkward.
I would say, in the hard times, what's mattered the most is like you just being there. Like I have such deep guilt and regret about early in our marriage when your mom died. Because you were going through this super tough season of grief. And like, I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what anxiety was. Like, I'd never been through anything like that. And I remember looking at you with like the most shallow advice, like just breathe. I never said get over it, but I feel like that's what I was implying, and life has a really good way of teaching us about these things, and I know, like, fast forward years to recent when my dad dies, like in those hard times, you were there for me. And sometimes you didn't say a word. You just had your hand on my back, and I knew that you were with me. I mean, when I categorize our life and the hard times, and I think about all the things you've been through, and I know we've cut up and laughed up a lot today, but like there is a price tag to pay for ministry, and I think people see me and you in a big church and Arise conference, and we're young, and how do we have what we have? One preacher always said people know about the glory, but they don't know the story.
Right.
And they weren't in that room when I walked in that night when your mom had died. And they weren't in that room when we were in an Asheville hospital with no family. And people are ringing the bell because they're having healthy babies. And me and you both know that as soon as our son's born, that he's not going to live.
Yeah.
They weren't there when the Lord saw fit for me to go through 2 years of like panic attacks, and you didn't know what to say to me. And I was battling depression myself, and people weren't there when you and I were disappointed and ripped apart by pains and struggles that were super difficult, when felt like we were kicked out of situations and hurt and abandoned and all those emotions when we felt like we're all by ourselves,
Yeah.
And I feel like consistently through our marriage, it's been mountains and valleys, and there's been many of them where I'm like, are we going to make it through this? And if there's one thing that's been consistent is I've watched you worship and I've watched you be real. You have been an anchor to me, and the goodness of the Lord is like when you've been down, I've been up. And when you've been down, and vice versa, you've been there for me and I've been there for you. And I think God is so kind to let us have each other in those difficult times,
Yeah.
And I would tell you, while many of them, like I would never want to live through them again. But I don't know that we'd be where we are right now had we not went through those things, Like I am the man that I am today, and you're the woman you are today. And the chemistry we have, the love we have for each other, the love we have for our kids is due to some of the storms we went through. The songs that we've sung that have ministered to people the most. Like to this day, the greatest charted song that we do is When I Lay My Isaac Down. And we started singing that when we lost Cashton, when we felt like we were laying our Isaac down, God's been good. We started singing that because of the little phrase in it, through it all. And even when we didn't feel like God was being good to us, we kept singing through it all.
Yeah.
God's been good, And I think people out there that just think that this is just a wild ride that's full of good times, the hard seasons is when God takes gold. He burns the dross off of it and says the trying of your faith, you're going to come out as pure gold. And we are sitting in a space right now where part of it used to be your mama's office, And I know there's a piece of you that's always going to be broken because of that, but I want you to know that Hebrews says we're encompassed by so great a cloud of witnesses, and like Becky, I can't help but think anything else that your mama would be super proud of the wife that you are and the mom that you are. And I really do love you. I love you more than I've ever loved you.
Love you too.
I don't want to cry no more. So let's talk about what we'd tell our younger selves. Marriage doesn't remove loneliness. It reveals it. You don't marry the finished version of someone. You grow together, you fight together, you heal together. Marriage isn't held together by passion. It's held together by promise.
Mm-hmm.
And I want y'all to listen to me. Like, promise still matters to God, especially when the culture creates or treats them as optional. And I think when we said for better, for worse, that we had to be committed to that. And I think also we have to understand that even though we talk about bad times, that looking back over the last 20 years, there's been way better good times than there has been bad times.
Yeah.
And without getting real sappy, I'll look in the eyes and say, I'd do it all over again. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm thankful for you. And this is 20 years, and I can't wait to see what the next 20 years looks like. I think you're going to be just as beautiful as you've ever been in 20 years as you are now. And so I hope y'all have enjoyed the podcast today. And I would say that this has been my favorite one we've ever done. It's the longest one we've ever done. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably going to take my girl and take her on a date. And
y'all heard that.
I'm going to have meaningful conversations with you. Yeah.
Meaningful conversations.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the One Thing podcast with me and my wife, Becky. It's been my favorite one we've ever done. And this special Valentine's release, I hope it's a blessing and adds value to you and to your marriage or wherever you're at in life. And we try our best to release one of these podcasts the first Monday of every month. So like and subscribe to this content. Share it with a friend. And literally the reason people are enjoying these podcasts is because people like you are liking them and sharing them, whether it's the YouTube version, share it on your Facebook, share it everywhere you go, put it in your reels or your stories. And for those of you liking the reels that we're putting out on TikTok, thank you so much for tuning into that. And we've got a lot of great episodes coming up, so make sure you stay tuned to all this. And we love you. We appreciate you. As always, come visit us in North Augusta for a church service or one of our conferences. And we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.